they're Spider-Man.
Because Spider-Man never.
Spider-Man's always had web shooters, except for in the Sam Raimi.
Except for Sam Raimi.
Right.
He actually trained them.
What?
Even in the Marvel
Yeah.
universe. Hello and welcome everyone to our performance tonight. This is our third and final performance of Let Him Sleep Till It's Time for His Funeral. We are a new group called Trinity Theatre Company, and we are trying to start a summer theater company here in Plain City. We're going to start with high school level kids, but we want to eventually grow that out, for the whole community, anyone that wants to be involved and perform. My name is Daniel Rodriguez Hijo. I'm Ryan Gutierrez.
I'm Kaizer.
And we are Trinity Theatre Co. Thank you again for coming tonight. And the kids have been doing an amazing job, and we hope they will entertain you for the next hour or so. So thank you for coming. Have fun.
When you asked me to help you carry this in, you didn't tell me it was made of solid lead.
It is heavy, isn't it? The men at the auction put it in the car for me, so I didn't realize.
Well, now that it's here, what are you gonna do with it?
I'm not sure, but it was too good to pass up.
You could put it outside and use it for a bird feeder.
Maybe I could use it to display my violets. I've always wanted something unusual to help display my violets.
It is unusual.
What do you think?
I think when John hears how much you paid for that, you're gonna be in trouble.
No, it overpowers the plants. I'll have to think of something else.
Mom, do we have any Setsy shampoo? I need a label.
I think so.
What contest are entering this time?
It's the Setsy Shampoo Slogan Contest. They have a brand new ingredient that no other shampoo has. And they're having a contest to punch slogan for it.
What's the ingredient?
So, do you want to hear my slogan?
Sure.
Set your hair before you do and make your boyfriend salivate.
It's very clever, Elizabeth. I think you have a good chance of winning.
Thanks. I was going around with Drool, but I decided this is more sophisticated. As soon as I get this mailed, I'm going to start my entry for the Win Your Heart's Desire contest.
What Win Your Heart's Desire contest?
The one in the newspaper. Win Your Heart's Desire. Anything you want, as long as it doesn't cost more than $20,000. I'm going to ask for a college scholarship to Tank University.
But Tank University is a men's school.
I know. Wouldn't it be fun? Mom, if we do have any Setsy shampoo, where would it be?
Look in the bathroom.
If you don't find a label, you can look at my house. Russ always buys Sudsy.
Thanks.
You really should encourage Elizabeth more. You hardly listen to her slogan.
I encourage her by paying the postage on all of her contest entries.
John, are you home?
Oh, come on in, Russ. John went to get his haircut. He should be back any minute.
I'm just borrowing a staple gun if it's okay.
Sure, help yourself. You know everything is in the garage better than I do.
I see you've been to another auction. What is it?
It's an urn. From the look of it, I'd say it's a real antique.
From the look of it, I'd say.
She isn't sure yet what she's going to do with it.
Too bad spittoons aren't in fashion anymore.
Russ, listen, I was lucky to get this. There were 2 other people bidding against me.
The owner and the auctioneer's assistant?
Don't pay any attention to him, Marianne. He's never appreciated antiques. Hello, John.
Hi, John.
Hi.
What's the matter? Don't you feel well?
I'm alright. For a man my age.
Must have been some party. You look like you were up all night.
No, I went to bed at 8. I just can't keep those late hours like I used to.
Don't start this again.
The years creep by, and before you know it, you can't have fun like you once did.
What's wrong with you? You sound like my grandfather.
Do you realize that 50 years is nearly half a century? Half a century! I, John Dolison, been alive for nearly half a century.
That's quite an accomplishment. I mean, congratulations, John.
This isn't an accomplishment at all.
Your haircut looks very nice.
Oh, that's good, since maybe the last one I ever get.
Do you mean you're gonna let your hair grow long?
I wish. I bet that pretty soon there won't be enough hair left to cut.
But you aren't that bald.
Really? Then why did the barber ask if I want a cut or polish?
He was just joking.
And what about the shampoo? There were 3 people ahead of me and offered all of them shampoo. But did he offer me any? No, he did not.
You've been getting your hair cut there twice a month for nearly 6 years now, and you've never bought a bottle of shampoo. The barber probably just got tired of trying to sell them to you. That's all.
That barber's no fool. He knows that pretty soon I won't even need shampoo. All I need is a suntan so my head won't peel.
You know what you really need?
Yes, a new body.
No, a new attitude. Just because you're going to be 50 in a couple of weeks.
So that's it.
Ugh, I don't want to talk about it.
But you're acting like your life is practically over.
It is.
It is not. I'm past 50 and I'm still here. I bet half your friends are over 50.
Friends? What friends? No one has time for friends anymore, Russ. The world's changed. It's different from when you and I were kids. People used to care about each other back then. They trusted each other. Everyone looked out for the other man, and now it's dog eat dog.
No, you're being pessimistic. We have lots of friends. Why, I've been thinking of having a party for you on your birthday. Maybe a barbecue in the backyard. And I have been having a terrible time trying to keep the guest list low enough so that we can afford it.
I don't want a party, especially not a birthday party. The only reason anyone would come is for the free food.
That's a terrible thing to say. What kind of friends do you think we are?
He doesn't mean you, Jackie.
Everyone's just so busy trying to make ends meet these days. There's just no time for friendship.
Unless you die, then everyone takes time to go to the funeral.
That's true. I never thought about that before.
When my aunt died, all the people who had been too busy to go and visit her in the hospital managed to find time to attend the funeral. All I could think of that day was how much Auntie would have enjoyed being there to visit with all her friends.
That's sad.
That's really sad.
I wish we could have the funeral first, while Auntie was still here to enjoy it.
The worst part about turning 50 is I have nothing to show for it. 50 years of living and nothing to show for it.
That's not true. You have lots to be proud of. You have a good marriage and a lovely daughter.
If I died tonight, you wouldn't even have to plan a funeral. I have so few friends, it wouldn't be worth the trouble.
I'd come, John.
Not me. I'd say, John who?
Russ!
John knows who kidding.
You aren't that far from the truth, Russ. A year from now, who would even remember me?
I would.
George Gershwin died when he was only 39, and look how much he accomplished. Porgy and Bess, Rhapsody in Blue, and American in Paris.
You don't give yourself enough credit. You're highly thought of at work. You own your own home.
It's mortgaged.
And you own all your furnishings. John, I came over here to borrow the staple gun, and I'm not sure where it is. Do you think you can help me find it?
50 years of living, and all I have to show for it is a staple gun.
He is depressed, isn't he? He didn't even notice the urn.
Jackie, you have given me a terrific idea.
I have? What is it?
Promise me you won't tell anyone. Not even Russ.
But I always tell Russ everything.
Not this time. You have to promise.
All right, fine, I promise. What's your idea?
I know what I'm going to give John for his birthday. A funeral.
What?
I'm going to give John a surprise funeral. His funeral. He's gonna have what your aunt didn't have. The chance to attend his own funeral. All his friends will come and everyone from his office. He'll see how much he means to everybody. He'll see how important he is, and he will be happy again.
I'm not sure you can do that. It might be illegal.
Why would it be illegal to have a funeral?
I'm pretty sure someone has to die first.
I doubt very much if there is any sort of law.
Maybe not. Probably the matter doesn't come up often enough for there to be a law, but how people know about the funeral? You can't very well send invitations.
They'll see the obituary notice, I'll write it and send it into the paper. They'll print it.
What if the newspaper checks and finds out that John didn't die?
Why would they do that? You're worrying about silly details. What's the matter? Don't you like my idea?
I'm not sure. I have to think about it.
Well, I have an instinct for these things, and I know that this idea is right. Let's see. John's birthday is on June 28th. Oh, that's perfect. The 28th is on a Monday. We can say that John dies on Friday, June 25th. I'll print the obituary on Saturday, and we'll hold the funeral Monday afternoon. We'll make a long weekend of it.
It'll be a long weekend, all right. How are you going to hide John all this time? You can't let him answer the phone or go outside or anything. Once people hear that he's dead, they'll be coming to the house.
That's right. You'll have to get rid of John for the weekend.
I'll have to get rid of John?
You and Russ. Maybe I could send John over to bar or something Friday night, and Russ could keep him talking. Sort of like the man who came to dinner.
You expect Russ to keep John talking for 3 days?
I suppose that isn't too realistic, but we'll have to think of something.
What about that fishing trip John and Russ are always talking about? Maybe they could do that.
That's it! That's perfect, Jackie! I knew you would help! They can leave right after work on Friday and not come home until Sunday night. Then Monday morning, instead of waking John up to go to work, I'll just let him sleep till it's time to get ready for the funeral. Maybe we should have the service in the morning. That way there isn't such a time gap between the fishing and the funeral.
Russ is always gloomy on Monday morning. He might as well have a reason.
I'll wait until everyone is seated and bring John into the back of the church to watch.
The church. Marianne, you can't have this funeral at the church.
Why not? We're members.
It wouldn't be proper. You're having this funeral under false pretenses, and you'll start a lot of trouble. You may anyway, but at least don't involve the church in it. Can you imagine how many people might cancel their pledges if the press got wind of a deal like this? I could just see the headline, "Phony funeral at St. James."
Then I'll have it at a funeral home.
That might not be so easy either.
Why not? I'll pay for the facilities.
They'll be expecting a body. They make their money off the preparations too, not just the funeral service.
I can say the body will arrive Monday morning. I'll say he's out of town, and that'll be true. He will be out of town. Fishing with Russ. I'll say I want a simple service with a closed casket.
Casket? Marianne, you're gonna have to buy a casket.
I suppose I will.
Caskets are expensive. Even the plain, bottom-of-the-line ones cost a couple of $100s.
I won't be getting plain bottom of the line. I'll have to get a fancy one.
You will? I didn't think you believed in such a thing. I'd have thought you'd choose a simple pine box.
I would if John was really dead, but the purpose of this funeral is for him to see how much he means to everybody. I'll have to get a fancy, expensive casket.
Well, what will you do with it after the funeral?
Maybe I could sell it.
I doubt there's much market for a used casket.
Wouldn't be used, not really.
Maybe the funeral home will buy it back at a discount.
If they won't, I'll place a want ad.
You could use it for a planter for the African violets.
I could always just store it in the garage. There's so much junk in there now that no one would even notice if I had it in a casket. John could keep his tools in it.
Well, no matter what you do with it afterwards, you're still gonna have to pay for it, and that's a lot to spend on an oversized toolbox.
That's gonna be the problem, how to pay for all this. I was having enough trouble trying to plan my budget for a barbecue.
Could you withdraw money from your savings?
I could, but John would kill me.
Then you could have a double funeral. How romantic.
Except I'd be the only one dead. No thanks.
At least that way the casket wouldn't go to waste.
I wonder if the funeral home takes MasterCard.
In case you want to die now, pay later.
They must have some kind of credit plan.
I mean, you could always use your new urn.
That's a great idea! I wouldn't have to buy a casket and I could use this lovely antique. Jackie, I can't cremate John. He won't really be dead.
I found a Sudsy label. I'm going to mail this right now, so I'll get postmarked before midnight. Then I can start my entry for the Win Your Heart's Desire contest. That one's a local contest, so I'll figure fewer entries, I'll have a better chance of winning.
What did you say the prize was in this Heart's Desire thing?
You have to say what you want most in the world, and the winner gets his wish. It can be anything, as long as it doesn't cost more than $20,000.
I could put on quite a funeral for $20,000.
Did somebody die?
Oh, no, I was just thinking. Go ahead and mail your entry.
Good luck, Elizabeth. I hope you win all the Sudsy.
Thanks. I figure if there's anything at all to the law of averages, then I'm about due to be a winner.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I'll win the contest and let the newspaper pay for John's funeral.
What if you don't win?
Here it is. Jackie, the winner will be notified on June 25th. The timing is perfect. And listen to this. Entries will be judged on originality. What could be more original than wanting a funeral for someone who hasn't died? I'm a cinch to win. I think I'll even invite John's brother.
The one in Oklahoma?
They haven't seen each other in years. Think how surprised John would be. I can pay for Roy's plane ticket, and it won't cost him a thing. He'll come for sure if it doesn't cost him anything.
Did John leave the staple gun in here? We can't find it.
Russ, you know that fishing trip you and John always wanted to take?
Yeah.
We think you should take it.
You do? What changed your mind?
We think it might cheer John up.
Make him forget about his birthday.
That's a great idea. Maybe we could go this weekend.
No, that's too soon. I wouldn't have everything ready.
What's to get ready? All we need is a couple sleeping bags and our fishing gear.
It's too soon for us to get ready. Jackie and I want to plan our weekend so we aren't too lonely while you're gone. Why don't you wait and go on, say, the 25th?
25th is fine with me.
Did you find it?
I haven't seen that staple gun in weeks.
John, what are you doing the weekend of the 25th? Do you have anything planned?
At my age, you don't plan that far ahead. I may be here. I may not.
How does a weekend in the woods sound? 2 days of sunshine and fresh air, fishing in the streams, sleeping under the stars.
Getting arthritis in my back.
Picture it, John. Just you and me on the bank of Red Rock Creek, eating our breakfast of freshly caught trout. No cell phones, no interruptions. We'll be two he-men in the rugged outdoors, pioneers living off the land, pitting our strength against the wiles of nature.
I don't think Marianne would want me to go.
I do want you to go.
You do?
You and Russ worked so hard. You deserve a little vacation.
What do you say, John? Are you willing?
I don't know. At my age, I'm not getting any younger. I don't know if my body can handle it.
Of course you can handle it. You're in your prime. A little hiking is just what you need to firm up the old muscles. Get rid of the flab.
Well,
He'll go.
Good.
what will you do when we're gone?
We're gonna do some shopping.
For a planter for the African violets.
Ed Davis went to Red Rock Creek last weekend and caught his limit both days.
His limit? Well, if Ed Davis can catch his limit, then you and I can certainly... What the devil is that? No, don't tell me. Just tell me how much you paid for it.
Believe me, it was a real bargain.
That means she paid over $50 for it. Anytime she says it was a real bargain, I'd know it was over $50. Of course, it could be worse. If she'd said it was a steal, I'd know it was over $100.
Let's go take a look at our fishing gear and see if we need anything.
It's going to work. Everything is falling right into place. He's acting more normal already, don't you think?
He did notice the urn.
The first thing I have to do is get my entry written for the Heart's Desire contest. Then I can make Roy's plane reservation and hire an organist and order a casket. I should make a list. I will never remember all this if I don't make a list.
What will you do if you don't win?
I'll win. I have to. It's the only way I can possibly pay for all this. Why is there never any paper when I need it? Look, Jackie, there it is in print. John's funeral. Hire organist, order casket, reserve Swan's mortuary. I think Swan's is the best, don't you? I kind of like their little jingle on the radio. Hi for Swan, song at Swan's.
I have to go home and start dinner. I'll see you later.
Plan music. I wonder if we could work in the Hallelujah chorus. It's always been John's favorite.
Maybe when John enters.
John's suit. I better take his good suit to the cleaners right away.
I can almost taste those fish already.
Food always tastes better outdoors.
That's because you're hungry. You woke up an appetite.
Think of it. 2 whole days at Red Rock Creek.
Our limit of trout.
I don't suppose you'd have a hairpin, would you? Whenever this reel sticks, I always use one of Jackie's hairpins to get it loose.
No, I don't seem to have one right now. Maybe Marianne has one in her purse.
Did you find one?
So that's the reason.
What's the reason? What's the matter? Are you okay?
That all makes sense now. I should have known. I should have guessed.
What makes sense?
This trip, this fishing trip suddenly makes sense.
Of course it makes sense. We've been wanting to do it for 2 years.
But why now? Why, after all this time, do they suddenly think we need a vacation?
Who cares why? As long as they want us to go.
Who suggested that you and I take this trip?
I don't know. What difference does it make?
It's important. Who brought it up first?
Guess it was Marianne.
I knew it. I understand everything now.
You may understand everything, but I'm getting more confused by the minute.
I may as well tell you. When Marianne says goodbye to me that Friday night, she never expects to see me again.
Oh, come on. A fishing trip isn't that strenuous. We won't overdo it or get lost or anything.
I'm not talking about getting lost.
Then what are you talking about?
Marianne is gonna have me murdered!
What?
You heard me! Marianne's gonna have me bumped off or in the middle of the woods somewhere!
You're crazy. Where would you get that idea?
Here's the plan for my funeral. June 28th. Hire organist, buy coffin. She's even getting flowers.
Let me see that. I don't believe it. Marianne, planning a murder?
Not just a murder, my murder.
But why the fishing trip?
Maybe she wants to be sure I'll die happy.
She has hired someone to kill you. They could do it just as well right here.
No, Marianne hates the sight of blood. And if I'm killed somewhere else, she won't have to clean up the mess.
Maybe it's supposed to look like an accident.
Sure, it's supposed to look accidental. That way she can collect all the insurance money. Probably I'll drown in Red Rock Creek.
She thought of everything, didn't she?
Everything except hiding the list.
Jeez. Why would Marianne want to kill you? She always seems so happy.
I'm getting old, Russ. Old and decrepit. I'll be 50 soon. From there, it's just straight downhill.
That's ridiculous. I'm 53 and Jackie hasn't murdered me. She's threatened a few times, but she did that when I was 23 too.
This whole body's wearing out. One by one, the parts start to deteriorate. First the hair, then the waistline. A pretty girl like Marianne doesn't deserve a broken down old man like me.
You're not having trouble, are you?
Of course I'm having trouble. I just told you my wife is gonna have me murdered. How much trouble do you want?
That's not what I mean. I mean, are you still able...
Am I still able to what?
You know, do you and Marianne still...
Do Marianne and I still what?
In bed, do you...
Oh, you're wondering if I can still, well, sure, if you must know, I'm still perfectly able. Not that it's any of your business.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to pry. I'm just looking for a reason why Marianne would want to kill you.
Man, it isn't because of my love life. I may be old and my waistline may be not existent, but I'm still okay in that department.
Good, I'm glad to hear it.
It must be the insurance money she wants.
Maybe we're jumping to conclusions. We really don't have any proof that she's planning to kill you.
She has my whole funeral planned.
Maybe she's just being prepared in case of an emergency.
Sure. She even knows what date the emergency's gonna happen. There's my proof.
All this proves is that she's planning your funeral. It doesn't mean she's gonna kill you.
How else could she have my funeral if she doesn't have my body?
I don't know. Well, at least you found out in time. What are you gonna do about it?
I don't know. What can I do?
Well, I guess the first thing to do would be to call the police. They could scout out the whole area around Red Rock Creek, and when the killer comes near you, they can arrest him.
What if they don't catch him in time?
Or what if it's Marianne?
No, I told you. Marianne hates the sight of blood. This is a job for a professional killer.
Let's not go to Red Rock Creek. We could go to Sun Lake instead, and then say we changed our minds at the last minute.
What if she had us followed?
But it wouldn't matter where we went.
Doesn't matter either way. Even if I escaped it now, I'd always be expecting it. I'd be afraid to empty the garbage at dark.
Let's just call the police and let them tell us what to do.
No!
They know about things like this.
No, I won't have it. They might arrest Marianne.
That would seem like a reasonable possibility.
Well, I won't have it. Marianne is a fine, upright, respectable...
Murderer.
No. Well, maybe. But she certainly doesn't belong in jail. Think of what that would do to Elizabeth.
A murdered father wouldn't be so good for Elizabeth either. You can't just let yourself get killed. You have to do something.
I will do something.
What?
Before I tell you, I want your word that you will not tell Jackie about this.
But...
Marianne and Jackie have been good friends for a long time, and this is no reason to get in between that.
I don't know.
Please, Russ, I just want this to be our secret.
Okay, I promise. What are you gonna do?
I'll run away.
Great, I always knew you weren't a coward.
I'll desert. Lots of people do it. I'll pack my bags and leave here on the 25th as if everything were normal. I'll kiss Marianne goodbye and be on my way. Only I won't be going to Red Rock Creek. I'll be going to Mexico.
Mexico?
I'm gonna disappear. I'll shave my head, change my name, and spend my 50th birthday south of the border. I hear they treat their elderly well down there. Alone there. Alone and unwanted.
You sure that's how you want it?
That's how I want it. No tears, no fuss, I'll just slip away quietly.
Well, what about the funeral? Marianne has a lovely funeral plan for you.
She can still have the funeral. It'll be more of a memorial service. I like that better anyway. I can never stand the thought of people looking at my old, worn-out body.
Well, then I guess we won't be needing these.
Would you, like to have my rod and reel? Sort of a going-away present to remember me by?
Thanks, John. I'd like that. Things sure won't be the same around here without you, pal.
No tears, no fuss. I'll just slip away. You might as well take some of my tools, too. Where I'm going, I won't need them.
Thanks, John. I'll think of you whenever I use them.
Oh, Daddy! I don't want you to die! My heart's desire is to have the best medical care possible for my father. He is 50 years old. No. He's only 49 years old. And he has an incurable disease. It's important for him to get help right away, because otherwise he won't live long enough to see me graduate from high school, and he won't be here for my wedding. And
Hi, honey. Where's your mother?
hi, Dad. She went over to Jackie's.
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
Nothing's wrong. I was just writing something sad.
If it's that sad, it ought to be a bestseller. The public loves a good cry. Is there any mail?
It's on the desk.
John?
Come in.
Where's Elizabeth?
She's in her room. What's this about? What are you doing?
I have to tell you something, and I don't want anyone to hear.
Oh, this must be quite a joke.
This is no joke. Have you ever suspected Marianne of being unfaithful?
Marianne?
Yes, Marianne.
No, Marianne wouldn't cheat on me.
That's what the husband always thinks.
Look, Marianne might be planning my funeral, but she's still a fine, upright, respectable, great woman. Why do you ask?
Well, she was at my house on the phone, and she was in the other room.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I couldn't help but hearing.
Yeah, so what'd you hear?
I don't know how to put this, John, but she made a reservation for the Starburst Motel.
Why would she make a reservation for the Starburst?
Why do women usually make reservations in motels where they live?
It's only 6 blocks away. Wouldn't she go farther to make sure I don't catch her?
Well, we won't be here to catch her. It's for Sunday night, June 27th.
Sunday night. She isn't even gonna wait till my funeral.
She sounded pretty eager.
Eager? What did she say?
Well, for one thing, she specified one bed.
She didn't.
She did. She said, oh, one bed will be just fine. The other one wouldn't get used anyways.
Oh.
And then when she hung up, Jackie asked her if she was going to go make a deposit on the room, and she said, no, my heart's desire will pay for it.
That's what she called him? Her heart's desire?
That's what she said.
Guess you were right that day you asked me about my love life. I am having trouble. I just didn't know it until now.
How could you not know it?
26 years, you live with a woman. You think you know her. Heck, sometimes you even think you understand her. And then you find out someone else is her heart's desire. Heart's desire! All she ever called me was Big Daddy.
I wonder who it is.
Probably an antique dealer. They'll spend my insurance money on urns. Look at this. That stupid girl from the travel agency sent my letter here. I told her twice to have it delivered to my office. She even addressed it to Miss John Dolison. Look. God, Marianne usually opens my mail. Can you imagine what would have happened if Marianne had come home and opened this? What would she have said? What would I have said? This isn't my ticket to Mexico.
And what is it?
It's a ticket to Oklahoma City, flight 23.
Who's going to Oklahoma City?
I don't know.
Well, what if it's the killer's escape flight? We should notify the FBI and then they can arrest him at the airport.
Under what charges? I'll be in Mexico.
That's right.
Wait a minute. This isn't a flight to Oklahoma City. It's confirmation for a flight from Oklahoma City.
Who do you know that lives in Oklahoma City? Or rather, who does Marianne know?
Oh God. Not him.
Oh,
It's worse than I thought, Russ. It's way worse.
how could it be worse?
I know who Marianne's lover is. It's Roy.
Your brother Roy?
My brother Roy, my bachelor younger brother Roy. With the one with all the hair? Marianne's trading me in for a new model.
That's ridiculous.
It makes sense. That rat. That dirty stinking rat. He always did have eyes for Marianne, you know. He took her out first, only I'm the one she wanted. Admittedly, he was upset. Why, even at our wedding, he said, Marianne, if this big ape treats you poorly, you just say the word and I'll be there.
And now you think Marianne has said the word?
Russ, it all fits together so perfectly. I leave here on Friday. I met with a tragic accident. Then Roy comes down to comfort the widow. In a few short months, they have a quiet little wedding. No scandal, no problem. She doesn't even have to change her last name.
You should confront her about it. Tell her you know about Roy and tell her to cancel the reservation.
No. If she wants to go ahead and marry Roy, I won't stop her. I'll just pretend like I never saw it and I'll leave quietly.
You're a big man, John.
She called me Big Daddy.
Elizabeth, do you know that your father's a very special man? Did I say something wrong?
No, it's not you. Marianne, she says she's in a phase. She says teenage girls love to cry.
You think Elizabeth enjoys that wailing?
She would, or she wouldn't do so much of it.
You know, John, just about the time Jackie and I regret not having a family, Elizabeth does something to change my mind.
Thanks.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't know you were home already. Hi, Russ.
Do you always do that?
Do what?
Kiss John when he gets home from work.
Sure, it's just kind of a habit we got into, but it's a nice habit, don't you think?
You amaze me, Marianne. You really amaze me. I'll see you later, John.
My goodness, I wonder why Russ acted so surprised that I would kiss you hello.
Maybe he wasn't expecting it.
I don't see why not. It's a perfectly natural thing to do. I'd miss it if I didn't kiss you when you come home from work. Wouldn't seem right.
I wonder if you'll miss me when I'm gone.
Don't start this again. Your 50th birthday is not something to dread. But I can guarantee that this is one birthday you will remember for a long, long time.
It's pretty memorable already. It hasn't even gone here yet.
When it gets here, it's going to be spectacular. I don't know when I've looked forward to anything as much as I'm looking forward to this.
You're that glad to see me go?
I know you'll have a good time on your fishing trip.
You won't be lonely?
Heavens no. I'll be much too busy to sit around being lonesome. I have lots of exciting things planned for this weekend. Where's the mail?
What mail?
Today's mail. I thought I saw it on the desk before I went over to Jackie's. Didn't Elizabeth bring it in?
Oh, today's mail. It's right here.
Why was it on the floor?
Arthritis. All people stuff.
What we need is a nice antique letter holder to keep on the desk. I'll have to keep an eye out for one next time I go to an auction.
Yeah, you know a shoebox would be cheaper.
Cheaper, maybe, but not nearly as attractive.
You already have enough old antiques to open a shop.
I like old things. The older the better.
Except for the men. What? Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself. Another sign of advancing age.
Would you stop talking like that? Sometimes I think that's what's upsetting Elizabeth. She only seems to cry when you're home.
Since when did Elizabeth care about what I had to say? Maybe she's upset because she doesn't have a boyfriend.
Don't talk sexist.
It's true. You told me that Elizabeth and Debbie used to hang out all the time, and now that Debbie has a boyfriend, they never talk. Maybe she just feels left out.
I hadn't thought of that. She probably is feeling left out. Maybe I should talk to Alice Hathaway.
Who?
Alice Hathaway, the president of the African Violet Society. Her son is in Elizabeth's class. Maybe Alice could ask him to invite Elizabeth to go out.
He'll do nothing of the sort. Elizabeth will get plenty of boyfriends without help from us.
Maybe I could just invite the Hathaways over for a family get-together.
I don't even know the Hathaways.
Well, then it's time you got acquainted. Alice is a lovely person. Such a way with violets. And I'm sure her husband and son are fine people, too.
Then you don't know them either.
Maybe we could have them this weekend. Oh, no, we couldn't. You'll be gone on your fishing trip.
What about the weekend after that?
I'd hate to wait so long when Elizabeth is so unhappy.
Besides, you might be busy then.
No, actually, I expect to be busier this weekend than I have been for a long time.
Oh, really? Well, if you're so busy, maybe I should cancel the trip and stay home to help you.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Why not?
Why not? Because the things that I'm going to do just aren't things that you could help me with. You might say that they're female things.
Oh my.
Do we have any paper? I want to copy my entry on clean paper.
Why don't you give yourself a rest and skip this one contest?
I couldn't.
You'll just be disappointed if you don't win, and with a prize like that, the competition is certain to be very stiff.
I think I have a chance. I have a good entry.
Let's hear it.
My entry for the sudsy contest was really good. It went sud your hair before your date and make your...
No, I already heard that entry. I want to hear this one.
If you don't mind, I'd rather not tell.
Why not?
You aren't, asking for something illegal, are you?
No.
Then what is it?
It's personal.
Personal?
It's too personal to share with your family, but not too personal to share with total strangers?
I just don't want to tell.
Just don't get your hopes up too high. There are a lot of people entering this contest. Adults, grown-up people who can write much more convincingly than you.
They don't want what they ask for as much as I do, though. Nobody could want anything more than I want what I'm asking for.
Dear, I wish Elizabeth wasn't so bent on winning that contest. She'll just be disappointed.
What do you suppose her entry says?
Whatever it is, she's certainly emotional about it.
Maybe she's asking for a new boyfriend.
I hope not.
Yeah, she said it wouldn't embarrass us.
Sometimes I think I'll be glad when Elizabeth is safely raised. Maybe when she's all grown up and on her own, we can stop worrying about her and start enjoying her.
I enjoy Elizabeth now, except for the crying.
So do I. I'll probably even miss the crying in a few years.
I'm gonna miss it sooner than that. I gotta go start packing.
Packing for what?
My fishing trip.
You don't leave for 3 days.
I know, but I gotta...
But Russ said all you would need is your fishing gear and a sleeping bag.
It may be enough for Russ, but I'm old. I need extra clothes.
I thought for sure it would come today.
I'm going to the mailbox.
All right.
Mom, do we have hospital insurance?
Of course. Why do you ask?
I was just wondering. Dr. can add up pretty fast now.
You don't need to worry about things like that. We have a very good hospital plan, and we carry enough life insurance, too. So if anything should happen to your father this weekend, you and I will be provided for. Elizabeth!
Will you sit down? You're gonna wear a hole in the floor with all that pacing.
Why don't you call? It's almost 3 o'clock.
Are you sure it's today? You didn't make a mistake?
I did not make a mistake. I've read the rules to that contest 100 times. The winner of the Heart's Desire contest will be notified no later than 6 p.m. on Friday, June 25th. That's today.
They probably just got so many entries that it's taking them longer than they expected to judge them all. I mean, maybe they've extended the deadline.
They can't. If I don't get the money by today, then there won't be any flowers at John's funeral, and I promised the casket man a down payment. Jackie, I'm getting scared. What if I don't win?
You're gonna have a lot of explaining to do.
If I don't win, I think I'll just kill myself. And you can have the funeral for me. That would be easier than trying to cancel everything.
You still have 3 hours.
I was hoping they would call before John gets home from work. I'd rather not have him here while I talk to the contest officials.
Then why don't we take his bags over to my house and put them in the car? That way when John comes home, he can leave straight away.
Emphasis on bags. Plural. Look at all this luggage he's taken.
All that?
You'd think he was leaving for a month safari instead of a 2-day fishing trip in the woods. He even wanted to pack his good suit. I wouldn't let him, though. I had it cleaned especially for the funeral, and I didn't want it to get wrinkled in his suitcase.
Why would John want to take his good suit to Red Rock Creek? I mean, All Russ packed is some extra underwear and his hip boots. He says that he isn't even going to shave while he's gone.
Not John. He packed every decent piece of clothing he owns.
We better start carrying it over.
Just a second. I baked some cookies to put in John's suitcase for a nice surprise. John loves my cookies, and these are his favorite. Chocolate walnut yum-yums.
That's a nice idea. If they don't catch any fish, they'll still have something to eat.
No wonder he's taking all his clothes with him.
What is it? Why is he taking all his clothes?
Jackie, John isn't going to Red Rock Creek at all. He's going to Mexico.
Where?
Mexico. Here's his plane ticket.
Why would John want to go to Mexico for the weekend when there are plenty of fish in Red Rock Creek?
You don't understand, Jackie. John isn't going to Red Rock, Mexico for the weekend. He's going for good. Forever. This is a one-way ticket. Jackie, John is leaving me.
Oh, you poor thing. I didn't know you and John were having problems.
I didn't know we were having problems either. How could I have been so blind? I thought he was depressed because he was turning 50. Turns out all along he just wanted to get away from me.
Do you suppose there's another woman?
Oh no!
I wonder who it is.
I don't want to know.
Of course you want to know. It wouldn't be normal to not wonder who your husband is having an affair with.
I just can't believe it. John and I have always been so happy. At least I've been happy, and I thought he was too. Till the past few weeks when he started worrying about getting old.
It's probably when the affair started.
Do you think so? No, we're jumping to conclusions. Just because John is leaving me and running away to Mexico doesn't mean that he's having an affair. This is just a single ticket.
Of course it is. He had her ticket sent to her. That's the way it's always done. Don't you ever go to the movies?
Jackie, I just thought of something terrible. If John leaves for Mexico tonight, he won't be here for his funeral.
Right. Man, what a rotten thing to do after all your planning and hard work. I should think the least he could do is wait until after the funeral to leave you.
Of course he doesn't know about the funeral.
Then I think you should tell him.
How could I tell him?
Just say, John, please stick around for a few more days because I'm having a surprise funeral for you.
Then it isn't a surprise, and it isn't any good unless it's a surprise. Besides, if I tell him, he'll know that I know he's leaving.
I just can't believe it. I've read about men who've deserted their families, but I never thought John would be one of them.
I'm going to miss him so.
Did I get a phone call? Are there any messages? Mom, were there any calls for me?
Just a minute, Elizabeth.
Don't shout, Elizabeth, and no, you didn't get any calls.
I didn't, but it's almost 3:30. I thought for sure there would be a message. What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter.
You've been crying.
It's nothing, it's just a little misunderstanding.
It's alright, Mom. You can talk to me.
I think she'd rather not right now.
It's about Daddy, isn't it?
What makes you say that?
You don't have to pretend. I already know about Daddy.
You do?
I heard him talking to Russ one night.
What did he say?
He said he just wants to slip quietly away.
Oh no.
We have to be brave, Mom. We want to make his last days with us happy days.
How can I be happy knowing I'll never see your father again?
We'll have our memories.
You're taking this very well, Elizabeth. I'm glad you aren't bitter toward your father.
Why would I be bitter? I've had the sweetest,
Oh.
nicest, most wonderful father any girl could ever want.
Oh, that's so nice!
Looks like the wake started a little early.
What's going on in here?
Nothing's going on.
Now you know.
Yeah, you know.
What's the matter?
It's just so nice watching a nice family like this fall apart.
Good afternoon, I'm Mr. Jansen, representing Heart's Desire, looking for a Miss Dolphin. Is she here?
You represent Heart's Desire? Please come in.
Thank you.
I need to speak with you privately.
Up, Marianne. Anything you say to Mr. Jansen can be said right here in front of all of us.
No, it can't. You don't understand.
I understand that there's been way too much secrecy going around right here. Mr. Jansen, please state your business.
I think we'd better leave.
I think so too.
You stay right where you are. I might need a witness.
Please, John, you need to speak with Mr. Jansen alone.
Actually, it's Miss Dolphin I'd like to see. Is she here?
Miss Dolphin? Do you mean you're here for Elizabeth?
Yeah, that's right. Miss Elizabeth Dolphin. Is she at home?
Yes,
Quiet, Elizabeth.
I don't believe it.
Let me get this straight. You represent Heart's Desire, and you're here to see Elizabeth?
That's right.
I'm Elizabeth.
It's Elizabeth that's wrapped up with